Just want to give a quick brief here on the latest Mavic 2 Enterprise series update and the Pilot 1.9 update that's rolling out this week. So Pilot 1.9 is being rolled out this week. If you don't see it yet in your app with a prompt to update or on the DJI website, that's okay. It's getting rolled out gradually this week. You'll get your prompt in your DJI app or be able to go to the DJI downloads page as well. That'll also be updated with information. But just a heads up, this is for the M200 series V2, the Mavic 2 Enterprise series, and the Phantom 4 RTK. If you're using the M300 RTK, you're just going to stay on 190R. And that's just updated when you update the remote controller there, so no need to change anything. If you're using the M200 V1 series or the M600, you're going to stay on Pilot 172. And in the Pilot app, when the notification pops up asking you if you'd like to update the Pilot app, if you're using a Crystal Sky, you can go ahead and ignore that if you're still using that device with the V1 series. And you can tell it's a 200 series V1 because it doesn't have the beacon built into the aircraft. Or the M600 on that side. And then if you're on iOS, remember you can only use that for the Mavic 2 Enterprise series. You'll go ahead and just stay on the current Pilot app. There's no new Pilot update in that regard at this time. So what's new with Pilot 1.9? Return to home altitude is in feet, maximum altitude. So basically Imperial Units for those items that weren't in Imperial Units before. The AirSense system can change that to feet now as well. And then mission planning as well. So when you see the distances on the map or you're programming distances in as well, all in Imperial if you choose that setting within the application. Also been an in-app tutorial section added, so you can see it highlighted there in orange. Just click on that for aircraft tutorials. You can sort that by specific aircraft type, industry applications, etc. You can now see aircraft and course heading in Pilot 1.9. So you can see once again highlighted in orange. You can see aircraft heading there. So if you were to move the aircraft as you're flying, that value is obviously going to change pending you go ahead and yaw the aircraft. The M210 V2, a couple bug fixes there. Fixed an issue where if you went picture-in-picture mode with the XT2, the wrench option wasn't available with the picture-in-picture split screen or thermal in the middle. So that is back. Also, there's an issue where you had the XT2 and the Z30. If you tried to recenter when you had the Z30 selected, it's giving some folks some issues. So that's been resolved as well. On the Phantom 4 RTK, transmission improvement there. And then also for setting waypoints, you can relate that to height or altitude. I can see on the side there, height's the difference between the current altitude of the aircraft and the takeoff point. Altitude is going to be the current altitude of the aircraft. So that's only available in the Pilot app for the Phantom 4 RTK now, and also the Matrice 300 RTK. Once again, that was already available though. The Mavic 2 Enterprise, this has an aircraft update as well. The previous ones I was talking about is just an app update. But for the Mavic 2 Enterprise series, you can see the release notes here on our website. Pilot app, aircraft, and RC. This can all be completed in the Pilot app. If you're connected to the internet, you'll get a prompt there. Majority of the updates and the newer features require the Android Pilot 1.9 update. You can still update the aircraft if you're using Pilot app on iOS, but unfortunately, you just won't have most of the new features in that regard. So first off here, we've added digital zoom for the visual camera on the Mavic 2 Enterprise Dual. So if you go on the visible camera, you're able to click on the zoom button in the top right and adjust zoom there. So you can see zooming in from 1x to 4x here. Also can see a new interface for easier adjustments. So instead of having them up in the little button on the top right, we have the big buttons on the left side here. So you can switch between visual, MSX, and IR. And then on the top center here, the light green shows which mode you're in right now. So obviously we're in visible right now. And as we continue the video, switch over to MSX. And then just click IR, switch over to IR, etc. And then one more time, we'll press the button up here for zoom, and you can go up to 4x So definitely heard feedback from folks that that is useful in a variety of use cases, especially on the public safety side. The Mavic 2 Enterprise Zoom, zoom optimization speed for the camera on that side. And then also now with both aircraft on the smart controller, you're able to hold the select button and then use that right gimbal wheel to zoom in and out. So you don't have to always be tapping the screen. So colder conditions, or just, I think it's a lot easier to control as well. FYI in that regard. Able to set the battery time to self-discharge as well. Up to 10 days. And that's about it. So once again, this will be rolling out this week, and you can always reference our pilot page on the website for details as that's updated, and release notes for the Mavic 2 Enterprise series. Thanks.